Hi, and thanks for joining the S.J. Child Show. The S.J. Child Show brings value to families through education and resources. But the S.J. Child Show isn't just about me, it's about us as a community. Join me as we help educate and support our community, help bring kindness and love and inclusion to all. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and watch. I really appreciate all the support from all of the viewers and listeners, and I just want to let you know I want you to join me on this journey. Come and follow my social media, and let's do this together. Enjoy the show. Introducing Autism Vehicle Home Safety Kits, Emergency Responder, alert stickers, personal profiles with autism needs and a communication board, masks and earplugs, keeping families and emergency responders educated and safe. Get yours today at sjchilds.org. Helping autism families impact their child's developmental milestones through home relocation, community resources, and home designs. For every 3 homes Natalie Castro sells, she funds and designs a sensory room for a community center servicing individuals with autism. She volunteers to coach law enforcement, first responders, and ER nurses how to have a positive experience for individuals on the autism spectrum. Hi, welcome to the SJ Childs Show. I'm your host, SJ Childs, and today I have a new friend that I'm making today. I'm so excited because making connections is my favorite thing to do. And I love that, everybody gets to kind of get a peek into what that looks like, because I think it's really, there's a lot of authenticity and genuineness that comes with that. And I'm so happy to have you here today, Robert. This is Robert Schmus, and I met Robert in a Autism Has No Borders. It's called on the Mighty Network, Autism Mighty Network. And it was so just random. And I'm so glad that we get to connect. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn about you and find out your story. And thank you for being willing to share it with me today. So tell us from the beginning, tell us about yourself and kind of what got you started on this journey.
Well, it really started when I was really young. I've always, I grew up, kind of like, I grew up in kind of a regular way. Like I always thought, growing up, I thought that I was different, that there was something really different about me. Like in a way, like I always felt I think differently. I kind of saw the world differently. How I interacted with others was differently. I had a narrowed interests. Always had these narrowed interests, whether it be like when I was a little kid, it was always like trains, history, travel, and culture, music. I could tell different styles of music and different like genres, especially from like the classic rock era, and stories about that, and just something very different. And it was hard, like, and growing up, I had friends, but it was also very hard for me to like interact sometimes socially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't really until then, it wasn't until like it led to a lot of anxiety. I've gained a lot of anxiety in high school, and it got to the point where I had to be hospitalized.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was President's Day weekend, 2005. That was, God, how old was I? I was like 15 years old. Yeah, 15.
I had a situation about the same time period in my life too, where the same type of thing. I think my parents didn't understand what was going on at the time. I didn't understand what was going on at the time, but isn't it interesting today to be able to look back at those things and think, I wish everybody had more information,
Yeah.
good thing we're here to help them see what ways we need to change things in the future for our future generations and people, growing up.
Hmm.
When did you get a diagnosis?
It was actually during my hospitalization. I
Okay.
was diagnosed. Well, it was called Asperger's. Now it's autism
Right.
spectrum. So so once I found out about like what it meant to be autistic, like learn about especially like the part of the spectrum I was on when I saw symptoms, it was like, oh my God, it all makes sense now.
Mhm.
Like it's really like kind of I would say like a mixture of a mind blowing with a eureka moment because I found if within my life because I was finally able to see, okay, I have I have this and this is how it all plays out. This is are the characteristics of of an autistic person, and this is how everything works. Narrowed interests, difficulty with social situations. Different ways of managing anxiety, stimming. Like flapping. I used to flap my hands. I do like kind of something similar to that now. So all that makes perfect sense.
Mhm.
Everything about it does.
Doesn't it feel wonderful when you're able to just really embrace who you are and bring it into your relationships and other things in the world and not be so concerned, like feeling like, oh, I don't fit in because of this and that. And it's not to say that you still don't feel that way, but now kind of having this kind of power to inform others and give them the opportunity to be compassionate back.
Absolutely. Just when it just feels like you gain like a sense of of course it's never easy.
Yeah.
Even today, especially even today, it's never easy. But when
Yeah.
you get that insight in yourself, that gives you so much power, so much confidence. Really does.
I love that. And it's really a great message to share with others because there's, as much as work as we're doing in the community, the stigma is still there. And, I hate to say in, older generations or places that don't get as much information possibly, but it's so important to have these kinds of conversations and shed light on the realness of it because it's not like a spaceship landed and it all happened all of a sudden, and it's
Right,
like
of course.
it's so interesting when I now kind of see because I personally didn't know about autism until my son was diagnosed. I mean, I knew, but I didn't have experience with it. And I didn't realize that I was neurodiverse at that time. But when my son was diagnosed, it was like a decade ago, and I was gathering all of this knowledge and trying to do the best I could to, help him communicate. And then about 6 years later, I realized that this makes so much sense now. This is my husband. This is exactly my husband. And I went to him with the same thing and I was like, Asperger's, dude, I know, it's 100%. And he kind of laughed but he really took it into, and then he was like, this is exactly what it is. This makes so much sense now. And I just love to see how much it helped us embrace our life and take charge of kind of the things that we felt were really unstable. But are you still there with
Oh yeah.
on audio? Okay, wonderful. I was
Uh,
making sure
uh,
so I wasn't talking to myself.
oh, I'm back.
Okay,
Sorry.
you're good. Oh, you're totally fine. Technical difficulties. We can't ever trust, these technical things. They can't be trusted. But anyhow, it's just it's really exciting when you can embrace everybody. Our daughter was just diagnosed maybe 3 months ago, and she's 10, and now she's like, "Yes, I fit in with dad and brother now so much." And then I was like, well, wait a second. how could this make so much sense? And how could I fit in so well? What about me? Kind of a
Mhm.
question. And yeah, come to find out, right?
Right.
And it just is, it's like so over, it's like came full circle, and it makes me so proud to be able to give a great perspective of success, a happy relationships, and just be able to share all of the great advocates' stories. Because there's so many in our time right now. So it's just an honor to do that.
Absolutely.
So tell me, kind of at, I think you were at kind of high school level or whatever, 15, coming out of this program. What happened then from there for you?
Well, it was a lot of like knowing more about myself, especially of being autistic, more about what it pertains, like and just seeing like how where do I go from there? Where do I go from there? A lot of things I was thinking about. Like I was very involved in my future. Like I had an IEP. I was able to do clubs and activities, and I started to build a little bit more of my social skills through that. But and I knew another way I can do that is going away at school, going away to university or
Yeah.
college. And so, that's was a goal I have. And I remember this one moment, my when IEP, sometimes you have like psychologists who do who do testing with the youths and interview them
Yeah.
who have an IEP. And I remember this one psychologist. I won't say his name,
Good
but
thinking.
but he but one of the things that I was telling him about, I want to go away to school, because I know I can, that's one of the ways I can learn to live independently. So that's one of the big goals, was to live independently and be on my own. It's doing that. And, and a few weeks later, in the mail, like I would get like the evaluation, and I was able to look at it with my parents. One of the things they said in his summary was, Robert wants to go away to school. However, due to his diagnosis, autism diagnosis, Asperger diagnosis, it does not seem realistic. And I kind of here's the funny thing, like I was taken aback by that. So are my parents. But however, I was determined to not let that take me down. I wasn't going to let someone who doesn't know anything about me really, because they don't.
Yeah. I love
No,
that. I love that you were stood up for yourself like that.
yeah, my parents were the same way. They said, don't take that advice. You know who you are.
It's so important that you have empowering parents too that really give you the choice to become more independent. I think that that's fabulous. We hope the same thing for our son, who would need more help, if anything, out of both of our children. But we really hope and that he'll have that same desire, and we'll support whatever it takes.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
the best thing, just having that like support to go through each step.
So did you end up going away then?
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
tell me about that.
It was interesting, if we had just a little more time, but it was just very interesting in the sense that I was able to, learn from uh, uh, learn from being away at school. I was learning to manage my medication, like get to classes on time. I was able to form friendships, be part of groups, friendships I still have to this day.
Oh, I love
Most
that.
Yeah, most my friends are from the college era, and just learning for myself, the good and the bad. There were some tough times, anxiety ridden times where I almost reached a breaking point, but you know what? I didn't go backwards. I went forwards.
It's fantastic. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What are you doing today?
Well, I am currently a therapist at a residential home for adolescents with autism.
I love that. The things that you're doing now are, so important. And now you can give back to, and do it in a better way that is more progressive with what we know today, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. What about, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, about dating? How has dating looked for you? Are you interested in that, or
I'm actually engaged.
you're engaged? Wonderful. Oh, I love to hear that.
Yep. It's I've been with the woman who I'm engaged with. I've been with her for about 7 years, or
Oh.
6, 7 years, I believe. Because it's like I've dated in the past. I did the whole like online dating, which it was kind of hit and miss. There were a couple. There, I know before I did that, I had a girlfriend for my senior year in college. Then after that, I did the online dating. Like it was mostly after grad school that I did it, and then it was hit and miss until I got and there. I had another girlfriend from that lasted a few months, but I wasn't really deterred from it,
Yeah.
and the online dating that is. And I was in this autism social group from like outside Philly in like the eastern Pennsylvania area. It was a good group. And we do these activities. We like go to events around the area. We went to this art festival in Narberth, PA. Just it's a town outside Philly, and one of the people there was this woman, a few years younger, tall, blonde, very athletic built, beautiful woman. And she, you know, I think she always had a little bit of interest in me. So one, it was at the art festival. This is September 2016, and it was a kind of a hot day, and so she was like kind of feeling like kind of dizzy from the heat, and she wanted to sit down. I volunteered to sit with her, and this was just a few weeks after a relationship I was in, uh, I had ended, and she all of a sudden like hold my hand and said, Robert, I've really had a crush on you and I love you. And all of a sudden, before I said anything, she kissed me on the lips. You
Wow.
cannot make this up. You cannot make this up.
I love that. Oh my gosh. My favorite thing. I'm a hopeless romantic. So that's my favorite story.
Oh my.
Can I share you with my story with my husband?
Yes.
We met actually 18 years ago. It'll be our 18-year anniversary this year. And isn't that crazy? It's like how many lives have already lived. It's crazy. But we met through he actually had a girlfriend at the time I met him. She was my friend, and we were going to college together, her and I would pick her up for school every day, and I would have coffee with him, and we would just sit and talk. And then when they broke up, he and I still had coffee every day together. And we had just been very good friends. And it was the same thing. It was in September. It was like September 13th. I'll never forget it. And we decided to flip a quarter whether we would date or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Heads we date, and here we are 18 years later.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? It's
So
yeah,
cool.
I love those kinds of stories. I think that those are just the best type of relationships to find, and friendship. And it's great. So yeah,
Mhm.
he's my soulmate. I'm so excited and happy that we, made this journey in this life together. It's been incredible. So, well, that's fantastic. When's the wedding? Do you have a date?
July 3rd, 22 this year.
Okay. Oh, my birthday is July 13th. So we'll
Oh,
celebrate for the 10 days in between. That's exciting. I'm really excited and congratulations so much.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope that I get to see a picture of the lovely couple together. Is there do you have like a website or social medias or anything? Do you do any kind of like information, on social media?
Well, I have a couple things. I do have a Facebook page. It's called Bob Bailey. Bailey's my middle name.
Okay.
And I do have also LinkedIn. It's Robert Schmus, Schmus. I'm also Robert Schmus on speakershub.com.
Perfect.
And I also, my friend who's also an autistic self-advocate named Nick St. Clair, him and I started a motivational speaking group called
Okay.
Person St. Clair, where we offer our motivational speaking services.
Okay, that's fantastic. I want to definitely check that out.
It's it's www.schmus schmus St. Clair STCLAIR.com.
Perfect. I'll make sure to have all of that text up on the screen and then down in the description box too, so we can make sure we get all the correct spelling and links and such. Well, it was such a pleasure to talk to you today and get to know you. And I hope that we can continue to connect and, I get to see those good wedding pics and everything. So thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. It's great connecting with you, and I hope we can talk again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you. The SG Child Show, produced by SG Childs LLC. Thanks to all my viewers and listeners for your continued love and support. And thank you to the guests of the SG Child Show. It's been an honor to have you on the show. Thank you to everyone who continues to support me. Go to my social media and let's build this community together through kindness, compassion, and education for others.